Adi, welcome to the most powerful high-ticket coaching sales system in the world. Learn how to present and get an 80 to 90% conversion rate. Live training. It's Jason Grossman here, the founder of the Surge Institute. I've been online for 15 years and have delivered over 5,000 sales calls to sell business coaching, life coaching, fitness coaching, and agency services. I built 4 7-figure businesses online, including an agency which cracked nearly 6-figure weeks. I've hit top ranks in network marketing companies, made millions in network marketing. I even built an affiliate marketing agency to $250,000 months. We've made tens of millions of dollars online, and I'm going to make a bold statement, and that is I am and we are the best at selling one-on-one services in a one-on-one sales call in the world. In this training, I'm going to share with you the framework and the psychology on the specific presentation that I personally use that gets me a 92% conversion rate when selling. If you're watching live, thanks for joining us live. If you're watching replay on YouTube or elsewhere, maybe in our mastermind, thanks for joining us. This is the most powerful training and important training that you'll probably attend maybe this year, maybe forever. If you're watching me right now and you're a coach, consultant, or agency owner, there's 3 main ways to sell. The main way we all sell is in one-on-one sales calls. And even though I'm sure you'll agree, people are more reluctant to get on those sales calls, that they still have a place. They still have a place when selling business coaching, life coaching, fitness coaching, agency services, healing, therapy. If you sell a service in any way, shape, or form, even if it's offline, you can use this system. Over the last 25 years, I've been selling one-on-one services offline or online. In fact, I've done nearly 20,000 one-on-one sales presentations offline and online. I've taught nearly 30,000 people sales systems to do the same in that journey. And I have studied and spent nearly $1 million in learning from some of the greatest. I spent $80,000 learning sales from Russell Brunson, over $100,000 on Grant Cardone and learning sales from him. I've done straight line persuasion through Jordan Belfort and the Wolf of Wall Street. And although there's guys out there, Russell Brunson will outsell me on a webinar every day. Tony Robbins will outsell me on stage every day. Jordan Belfort will sell a pen better than I can every day. But what I have spent 25 years daily refining is how to sell a service one-on-one. And in this session, I'm going to share with you, as possibly the most experienced person in the world at selling one-on-one services in a one-on-one format, I'm going to share with you the exact system. If you're watching me right now and you want to get more clients, there's only one thing stopping you: sales. In fact, if you can't sell, doesn't matter how good you are as a coach, doesn't matter how much you care, doesn't matter how many lives you want to impact. If you can't get clients, you can't help anyone. So if you really want to be able to help more people, if you want to be able to have more impact, you've got to master the art of sales. And so today there's going to be a couple of parts. Number one, we're going to talk about the framework, and what I call the philosophy of authentic sales. In 2026, people are professional buyers. People are smart. So gone are the days of using NLP, sleight of hand, sleight of mouth, mirroring and matching. Those days are gone. We cannot tell people what we're doing. It's not authentic. It doesn't flow. It's not going to be very elegant. It's not going to be very well received. People are tired of greasy car. So who's tired of greasy car salesmen, greasy real estate agents, greasy sales tactics? That's not what this is about. This is about authentic sales in an elegant and ethical way. Number two, we're also going to talk about the basic psychology of sales. There is the inner game of sales as well as the outer game. Whenever I do any kind of presentation training, or when I'm learning something, I want to first take a look at the inner game, the psychology of sales. Because what's more important, Jeff? The strategy or how you think and feel about it? What's more important? If I give you 2 marketing strategies, you love one, you don't like the other, which one's going to work better for you? The one you love. How you think and feel about the information I'm about to give you is more important than the information itself. If I was to, Charlotte, give you a world-class meal plan and fitness program, does it guarantee results? It doesn't. How you think and feel about it, whether you do the work or not, whether you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions or not, that's what's important. So knowledge is not power, it's the application of knowledge. So we're going to touch on the basic psychology of sales. Some of you probably love sales. Some of you probably think you're great at sales. Some of you probably don't like it. And that's going to project through tone, physiology, your behavior, and how you interact. And obviously, everything's energy. Thoughts emit energy, words emit energy, And that's important in understanding authentic sales. We're going to touch on that. Then the third and final part is I'm going to share with you the most powerful presentation in the world to sell any one-on-one service. So if you're watching live, I would love to hear what kind of service you're selling. Just type in the chat, what is the one-on-one service that you're selling right now? Is it business coaching, live coaching, fitness coaching? Is it something else? You can use this for massage, personal training. You could use it for Botox services. You could use it for IV services. You could use it for Chiro. You could use it for network marketing if you wanted to. You could use this for almost any service you can dream of. You could use it for Reiki. Megan, Go High Level setups and coaching. So hybrid, this works perfect for hybrid. Yes, Steve, life coaching. Charlotte, health and wellness. Yeah, these work perfect for all of those. If we look at coaching, there's three main coaching realms, isn't there? There's business coaching, sales coaching, business consulting. There's wellness, yeah, so wellness, fitness, nutrition. And then we have mindset and life coaching, right? NLP, life healing therapy. It's really those three pillars. This works really well if you're selling an agency service as well, social media, AI, software as a service. It works for all of them. Systemically, selling the service, it's exactly the same from a sales perspective. Your audience might change, the syntax and words and semantics might slightly change, how your personality adapt to the individual might change, but the structure is the same. Quick question for you guys watching. Charlotte, would you rather try and work out how to sell your health and wellness services or take proven methodologies that have been tested across thousands of businesses in the health and wellness industry that are not cookie cutter, you can personalize and use, that have been tested and proven? Would you guys rather try and wing it and work it out yourself, or take a proven system, framework, not cookie cutter, not a set script that you have to follow that's rigid? Framework is necessary in business. Systems and SOPs is necessary in business. And if you want to be successful, would you rather wing it and try and work it out for yourself, or use proven frameworks that can be tailored to your personality and style? Yeah, the methodology, 100%, right? So as we dive in, I love this stuff. I'm going to talk fast. I love sales more than when it comes to business, the thing that I do best and what I love the most. You guys know we have a VA agency. I love outsourcing and building teams. You guys know we have a digital agency. We help you guys with marketing, lead gen. I love marketing. What I am best at though is selling. What I'm about to share with you in this presentation, if I could share with you for an hour on anything that I have in my knowledge of 25 years of business, this presentation is the best hour I could ever spend with you guys. If you want to be able to sell more, get more clients, make more money, have more impact, there is no 1 hour training that I could do that would be more powerful than this 1 hour training right now. And if you can go through all my trainings on YouTube. If you're not on my YouTube, go to Jason Grossman. I put all my trainings on there. We put them all into our 20K Inner Circle and our Surge Mastermind as well. I have never said that about any other training ever in 15 years online. This is what we and I do best. This is also a part two. If you joined the training last week, we did a live training on how to align your audience, your messaging, and your offer in the form of a powerful pitch deck. If you haven't seen that, you can head over to my YouTube, Jason Grossman. You can find it nice and easy in the videos in there. Again, all my trainings are in there. For those that stay the end, I put together a crazy, ridiculous deal for you guys that's less than $100, where I can help you put everything together that I'm about to share with you, because I want to see you guys win. The number one reason you're all not getting more clients is sales. If you want to be able to sell more, you got to show more people your offer. It really is that simple. So when you're getting on a sales call, what is the best structure? What's the best way? How long? What do we say? What's the order? I'm going to share with you, after testing over 30,000 calls across hundreds of niches, thousands of businesses, the most powerful system. You guys ready? You ready to see the system?
Yes.
Alrighty, let's do it. By the way, for those that are watching live or registered, you'll receive an email with the recording, the slides, and my personal scripts. If you're watching this on YouTube or the Mastermind, there'll be a link to a free course somewhere. And in that course, you can access my scripts as a thank you for watching the training. Yeah, cool. Let's dive in. So if you are a startup business making less than $1 million a year, which is probably you, the three most important factors are what we call attraction marketing, elegant appointment setting, and authentic sales. If you're not making $1 million a year in your business yet, you want to be spending 80% of your time on those income producing activities that bring in leads, appointments, and sales. Otherwise, you're not wasting your time, but you're not prioritizing your time in a way to solve the biggest issue in the beginning, obscurity, people don't know who you are, what you do, and obviously cash flow. So, what I want to share with you first is my personal philosophy around selling one-on-one services. In fact, I've got 3 books being published this year. You probably saw on the last slide, the Online Coaches Business Bible, which is going to be available on Amazon next few weeks. So if you're watching a replay of this, it's probably already available. I've got another book coming out in a few months called How to Sell a Shitload More Services Online, an entire book around this framework. That's how much I believe this is going to help you guys. I'm also about to launch the Surge Sales Academy where you can hire closers and sales team from us, train in our in-depth systems, very in-depth. We've got sales AIs, we've got portals, we've got courses, we've got closers, book coming out, and more. Because we're also caught up in the AI stuff and the shiny stuff and the automation and the go level, which is it's the sexy stuff. But selling is how we make money. Selling is how we get clients in to transform their life, right? So here's my personal philosophy after 25 years, what I call authentic sales, the frames and the mistakes. Now, again, my challenge is, Charlotte, I could do a 5-day course on sales. Easy, maybe more. I have an hour with you guys, and today's focus is the presentation. How do we present to get the sale at over 80% conversion rate, right? So today's about that. Presenting, closing, the psychology of it. But it's important to understand my philosophy so it's easier for me to teach you how to then prime your mind for success and then implement the strategy and the script and the process. So there's also some really big mistakes, okay? So here's a couple of things that I want to invite you to take on board. And I think there's actually 5 huge mistakes that seem small that are holding you back from achieving a much larger conversion rate. It's stopping you from getting a lot of clients. Number 1 is inauthentic sales. Authentic sales is all about 1 4-letter F word, flow. Have you ever been on a call with someone and it just kind of flowed? It felt natural and didn't feel like a sales call. Maybe you've done that with me or someone in our team. The key to authentic sales is that everything flows, to not be rigid, to not be disagreeable, to not make it feel like you're a greasy car salesperson. You want it to flow with elegance, efficacy. If we're talking words, we might say elocution, right? We want everything to flow, be natural, and to feel. The term that a lot of the guys are using now is frictionless. It's quite a popular term online right now, right? Here's 4 simple mistakes. I invite you to ask yourself, are you making these mistakes and we want to fix them immediately? Number 1, a huge mistake I see coaches and agencies make is they sell coaching. And you don't want to sell coaching. What do I mean by that? So 25 years ago, I was selling personal training. And about an hour in, I started charging $100 an hour. Now, Jeff, when I started telling people it was $100 an hour for personal training, people would fall off their chair because they were making $20 an hour. People were like, holy crap, that's 5 times what I earn. So there was this pain associated with it. And a part of that is this, what's more valuable, guys? Time or money? Who agrees that time's more valuable? Time is way more valuable. So whenever you put a dollar figure on your time, it devalues your time and therefore your service. Okay. It also creates pain when you share the price. So imagine this, Jeff. Instead of me going, it's $100 an hour, I said, Jeff, if I could help you lose 20 kilos, not that you have 20 kilos to lose, my friend, but if I could help you lose 20 kilos, what would that be worth to you? And you might say 5, 10 grand. And then I would be like, well, I'm not going to charge you 10 or 5. It's only going to be 2 grand. You're going to be like, man, okay, so we're selling the result. We're selling the transformation. We're not selling our time. So a lot of coaches, healers, therapists, business coaches will often start a business and they'll be like, it's $100 an hour or $200 an hour. And if you're selling any service like that, there's a couple of problems. 1, it creates pain. You're going to get less sales. Number 2, it devalues the service. Number 3, you're going to earn less money. And number 4, the big issue is that when I was selling in that format, what I would do is I'd sell packs of personal training, right? So what I'd do, Charlotte, is I'd be like, okay, well, if you buy a 10-pack personal training, you'll pay less and you can pay up front and you pay wholesale, right? So let's say, Jeff, I sell you 10-pack of personal training sessions or 10 sessions of business coaching or 10 sessions of something. What happens at the end of 10 sessions? What do I need to do? I need to resell to you, don't I? So this also decreases retention. So instead of selling coaching, we sell the transformation, we sell results, and we sell in what I call a package form. Okay. So we don't just sell the business coaching. We don't just sell the fitness coaching. We don't just sell the cert. We sell it as a package, a program, a subscription, if that makes sense. Number two is a lot of people make a huge mistake when they get on a sales call. Well, the first lesson I teach my sales team, and I've trained thousands of sales guys, girls and guys all across the globe. A huge mistake people make is they get on a call and they're focused on getting a yes, getting a client, getting money, me. But if you want it to flow, what do you have more control over in life? What do you have more control over in life, Megan? What you can get or what you can give? Can't control what you get. You can't control someone showing up or not. You can't control somebody filling out the form or not. You can't control somebody quitting. Who's ever signed up a client and then the next day they quit with buyer's remorse, right? So that brings me to another strategy we'll talk about shortly. So I never get on a call thinking about how I can get Jeff to sign up or get money from Jeff or get Jeff as a client. I do not. The goal might be to get them as a client, but the focus is to serve. The focus is to connect with Jeff, to serve Jeff, to discover what are his challenges, what are his goals. Are we a good fit? Is he mentally ready? And if you stop focusing on trying to get and you focus all your energy on giving, the energy exchange will flow so much more elegantly. Like the difference is huge. And what you'll notice as I share these basic frames with you, they're the sort of frames that we all agree with. Time's more valuable than money. We want to give rather than get. These are all authentic frames, objectively, most of us will agree with. And if we are in alignment with them through our thoughts, our words, our behavior, our tone, it creates flow, it's frictionless, and your conversion rate explodes. It makes no difference to me if you sign up or not, show up or not, quit or not, because I got so many people to talk to. That's what an abundant mentality is. Okay. Um, like, have you ever seen somebody get excited about getting a sale? Like, Steve, imagine you get a, hey, Vanessa, how you doing? So, Vanessa, imagine you get a yes, right? Like, and that's the thing. Some people are struggling financially. So you get in a call and go, please buy my shit so I can eat this week and pay rent. It is not a conducive way to be in peak state to attract and to flow and to grow through abundance. It has a scarcity mentality, and you'll project that as well. So, Vanessa, what happens when somebody gets excited when they get a yes and get a sale and get a client? If somebody gets excited about getting a client or getting money or getting a sale, what's probably going to happen if you get a no or don't get the client? You're going to be frustrated, disappointed, unhappy, depressed, whatever. You can play the emotional roller coaster game, but it's not a good game to play here. So the focus is to serve, don't sell. The third part of the framework is instead of selling, interview. Who's ever woken up, Megan? I feel like you would have done this. Who's ever woken up, looked at your calendar and thought, shit, I got that person today. Oh my God. Who's ever worked with energy vampires, that one person you see once a week or once a fortnight? Yeah. And has there ever been a time you've woken up and thought like, yeah, man, I got Tammy today. She's my favorite, right? Do you want your calendar filled with dream clients or energy vampires? When you get on a call, you're not selling coaching, you're not selling time, you're serving. And instead of asking if you want to work with me, Jeff, I flip the power dynamic and I ask you interview questions where, Charlotte, you have to convince me why I should choose to work with you. Now, remember, this is the process for selling one-on-one. So I'm going to share with you my interview questions. So I've got a few questions. Charlotte, you have to convince me why I should choose to work with you. Charlotte, choose who you work with. Megan, choose who you work with. That abundant mentality will make people want to work with you more. In our accelerator programs, like in our one-on-one programs and our higher ticket, you have to be approved. You can't just sign up, right? To a higher ticket. You can't just sign up. You can't sign up on a website. It's not possible. You have to be approved. You have to be interviewed and approved. Yeah. So for those of you that are selling a one-on-one service, choose, especially in the coaching and the agency space, right? And the fourth one, we actually covered this recently. is people tell the offer, they don't show the offer. When you get to the close, you share your screen, you show them the pitch deck, you show them the offer. Seeing is believing. It makes intangible tangible. We're going to talk about that today. We did a training on the pitch deck last week. You can find it in my YouTube as well. So, how do we position ourselves in a way with what we call posture? In a way that people are almost begging to want to work with us, that has flow energetically and guides people to the sale where we're focusing on serving and not selling. Well, it's understanding that a world-class salesperson is always doing the same thing. And I really want everyone to hear this, maybe even write it down. A great salesperson asks powerful questions to direct thoughts, evoke emotion, and lead people to action. What does a coach do? A teacher tells people what to see, but a coach shows people where to look by asking powerful questions that direct thoughts, evoke emotion, and lead people to action. What does a powerful leader do, Jeff? Ask powerful questions to direct thoughts, evoke emotion, and lead people to action. A leader probably just does it in a bigger way with a larger group of people. The better you get at this flow, the better you'll be at selling, the better you'll be at coaching, getting results with your clients, and the better leader you'll be, the better parent. What does a great parent do? Ask their kids powerful questions to direct their thoughts, evoke emotion, and lead the kids to action. What does a great teacher do in a classroom? We could go on and on and on. That's why I do love neuro-linguistic programming. NLP gets a lot of backlash because a lot of NLP is a model of information. Information is not good or bad, it's how it is used. But I love that in NLP it teaches us that everything begins in the form of a thought. It emits an energy signature that then leads to an emotion. Neuropeptides are released by the brain, locked into receptor sites. That then causes us to behave or act in a certain way, and this creates our outcomes. These outcomes form our beliefs, and then the deepest part of what I call the mind cycle, the values. This process is why I'm so good at sales. I've gotten very, very good at asking the right questions to direct your thoughts, evoke emotion, and lead you to action. So the key to presenting and selling, especially one-on-one, is this process. You're not coaching in the sales call. You're constantly asking questions to direct their thoughts, evoke emotion, and to lead them to action. The problem is people don't make decisions based on pleasure. They make them based on pain, which we'll talk about. Okay. Does that help, guys? Which of those mistakes have you been making up until today? Have you been telling people and not showing people your offer? Have you been selling time and putting a dollar figure on time? Have you been trying to get and getting on a call, stressed and projecting and repelling people through scarcity rather than abundance? So I think we're all probably well versed enough in mindset and personal development here. And most of us have probably heard the saying 80% of success is what? Psychology. 20% is mechanics. I can give you the world-class script, the best sales system in the world, but your thoughts and feelings, or what I call your attitude, is the most important part about it. When I do full sales trainings, I spend a lot of time on the psychology of sales. But since this is really the presentation part of the training, I just want to touch on the basic psychology of sales today to get you thinking about and aware about your thoughts and feelings that might be holding you back from selling at the conversion rate that you deserve or are capable of achieving. So what's really important to understand that when you get on a sales call, there's two psychologies. There's your own psychology, and there is the psychology of the prospect. If we take a look at your psychology, what is your attitude overall around sales, your macro attitude, and what is your attitude right now in this call? Maybe something happened today that put you off tilt, your micro attitude. Being consciously aware of your overall attitude and your attitude on the call is so important because when you're in your head, you're dead, right? As the saying goes. So I want to invite you guys right now to be very aware of what is your attitude. When I use the term attitude, I'm specifically referring to your thoughts and feelings. Charlotte, if I was to ask you, how do you think and feel about selling? How would you respond to that? Megan, if I was to ask you, how do you think and feel about selling? How would you respond to that? You might you might believe that you're good at it. You might believe you're no good at it. Now, if there's two people, one person believes they're great at sales and one person believes they're not, which one's going to sell more? The one that believes that they are better at sales. Does that make them better at sales? It doesn't. As the saying goes, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, either way, you're right. Henry Ford. Charlotte says, I feel okay. So that's fairly neutral. What would need to happen, question, for you to feel great about selling? Here is a question for you empaths. For someone like myself, I love selling. I love getting clients. I love making money because I've made the neurological association that, Charlotte, if you don't pay me money, I can't help you transform your life. This event will inspire and impact your life, but I don't know if people are going to go and apply it. The only real way I can change your life, Charlotte, and truly give you transformation is what I'm going through today, we do together, and you join my program. Whether you do that or not, it's up to you and makes no difference to me, but it makes all the difference in the world to you. So for you empaths, okay, let me ask you a question. Charlotte, would you like to help more people? Megan, would you like to be able to help more people? If you get on a sales call, if they say no, can you truly help that person? So the only way you can help more people is to sell more. The more you sell, the more you help. The more you help, the more money you make, the better you and your family's life is. I love what Tony Robbins says. Our income or net worth is a direct reflection of our contribution to society. The more we give, the more we receive, the more we can give back in turn. So if you're an empath, you're someone that doesn't, you're just okay with sales, you don't really enjoy it, there's a bit of resistance, you're not like, hell yeah, I love selling, right? If you're that person, that's probably because you're a profound or a high empathic person, which is awesome. For you, it's just making the connection that the more I sell, the more lives I change. And if a person doesn't say yes to my program, I can't help them transform. I can inspire and impact lives, but I cannot create transformative experiences if people don't join the program. So we're talking about one-on-one services. Be in flow of conversation. Megan, I see selling as you're adding value and only selling if it's the right fit. Well, that's where you've got to choose, right? And that's where posture comes in. That's where posture comes in. So let's say I have a business coaching program, okay, which we've been doing business coach for 15 years. We evolved our business coaching programs into accelerator programs. We now have accelerator programs leading all the way up to a seven-figure program where we help you build 100K months. But last year, and I'm going to show you the slides for this today, which is why I'm using this example. So we have a business coaching program, okay, and it's $299 a week to do the one-on-one coaching program, or it's $3,000 up front. So let's say, Megan, you were to give me $3,000 right now for my program where I spend 3 months with you or more to help you build $20,000 months. Do you think the $3,000 for me personally is going to be life-changing? Be honest. Do you think $3,000 will change my life? Now, I'll appreciate the 3 grand. I'll respect it. I'll be able to buy food and pay some bills or whatever for it, but it won't change my life. Megan, how much is your offer? 3 grand, 4 grand, probably around that. Will that, if somebody gives you that money, will it be life-changing? It'd probably be impactful today and this week and help you out financially, but it's not going to change your life in the scheme of the cosmos that is your life. But Megan, if I help you build $20,000 a month, is that life-changing for you? Completely life-changing. So who gets a better end of the deal when you sign up for my program? Megan does, Charlotte does, Steve does, Vanessa does. And it's the same for you, Vanessa. When your client pays the $2,000-$3,000 a week, $2,000-$3,000, doesn't change your life. You're grateful for it. It's impactful. It helps out, but it doesn't change your life. But Vanessa, if someone joins your program 3 to 6 months, does it change their life? So when you get on a call with somebody, you have all the leverage and all the power because they always get the better end of the deal. And that's how a relationship should work. In a relationship with my partner, I have one goal: make sure she gets the better end of the deal. If I have kids, same thing. If I have a business partner, same thing. If I have clients, I want to make sure that you get a better, Steve and Vanessa, you guys are in the 30-day accelerator. You guys have spent like $1,000, and the amount of time and value and energy I've given you. Surely you'll agree, far exceeds that. There's people out there that would charge 10 grand for what I've given you guys access to and time-wise, and we're doing daily huddles and all kinds of things. I want to make sure that you get the better end of the deal. And so if you are empathic and you are the sort of person that's doing this because you want to help people, knowing that gives you that what we call posture and power, okay? So when you add the takeaway to that, meaning whether Vanessa shows up or not, whether Steve shows up or not, whether Jeff becomes a client or not, whether you quit or not makes no difference to me. The most powerful mindset principle that is probably the hardest to actually adopt, and it takes a few years, is what we call emotional dissociation. When you dissociate emotionally from the response you get from other people, you cannot control what people say or do. You cannot control people showing up or not. You cannot control people signing up or not. You cannot control retention, keeping people in or not. You can influence it, yeah, but you cannot control it. So if you can completely emotionally dissociate from what other people say and do and be in that neutral state, it is going to create more of abundance and people are going to be drawn to you and want to work with you. It's when people are emotionally reactive that they get desperate. They start offering discounts. They start begging or seeming like they're begging. You can tell that there's a scarcity. You can tell that they need the money. You can tell that you project it. So this emotional dissociation is incredibly important. You can see pie on the screen. I talk about the pie philosophy, and this is in particular about the close. When you get on a sales call with somebody, you want to be fairly neutral. You don't want to be over the top excited. I think getting on a call with somebody and saying thank you for your time, you lose that posture because you're giving up your time's more valuable. Vanessa, you get on a call with someone for 30 minutes, your time's more valuable than theirs. Why? You might disagree with that, but I can explain why. The reason why is because who gets a better end of the deal at the end of the day when they become a client? They do. People say everyone's life is just as valuable. A cat's life, a dog's life, Jeff's life, my life. In the scheme of the cosmos, all life, I believe, is valuable. But the truth is, different people bring different amounts of value to the marketplace and different amounts of value to each other's lives. That's why we would probably be more likely to save our family loved one's life before a stranger's. That's just called life. Okay. But the truth is, from a financial business perspective, there are different values. The person giving their time to sell the offer has the posture because the other person gets a better end of the deal. Okay. So, but when I get to the close, I use the pie philosophy. If I want somebody to take action, the best way to get people to take action is to create urgency. And the best way to create urgency is to get people excited about moving away from where they don't want to be and currently at to where they want to be. And the best way to get someone else excited is to be excited yourself. How do you get excited? You talk a little bit faster and talk a little bit louder. This is only at the close when we're getting to the closing question, asking for money. I call it passion, intensity, and energy. You don't have to be like me. Definitely don't have to emulate me. You don't have to talk as fast as me. I talk way too fast, often. It's who I am. But if you add passion, intensity, and energy, and know that every time you get on a call with someone, there's a possibility and opportunity to change someone's life, it totally changes everything. Charlotte, every conversation you have, Vanessa, every call you do, Steve, every DM you do is an opportunity to transform a life. And we get so caught up in the numbers of 10 DMs or 5 calls or 20 leads. And first of all, no one wants to be treated like a number. And second of all, we get caught up in this going through the motions and forgetting that every conversation and every individual is a potential life we can transform. I think that's exciting. So I don't get excited about getting the sale or getting the client. I do get excited and passionate about I get to help Jeff live his dream. I get to help Charlotte move away from that pain. I get to help Vanessa solve her financial issues. I get to help Tom lose that weight and live longer and see his grandkids grow up. Those connections are everything in authentic sales. And it's so easy to forget that when we're in our head going, shit, I need to pay rent this week. And I know it's hard sometimes, especially if you are in the early stages and you are struggling financially or things are tight financially. But it's that scarcity mindset in your own head that's holding you back as well. So how do we do that, right? And the final part of the psychology, I want to talk about their psychology, is ultimately what we're doing. Most of what we do is to move away from pain or towards pleasure. In the sales process, I want to ask questions that create a lot of pain and associate that with where they're currently at and create the largest chasm possible between where they're at now, pain, and tremendous pleasure if they do. I want to insert if they do not work with me and associate that with pain and staying stuck, with the pleasure of working with me if they do work with me and I choose to work with them, the tremendous pleasure they'll achieve and receive, right? So what we're doing is we're asking powerful questions to put a mirror up to somebody's face and to remind them, Megan, denial is not just a river in Africa. Because the truth is that most people have suppressed the pain of their current financial situation and go, that's okay, I've got a roof over my head. They've suppressed the pain of being fat and overweight. They've suppressed the pain of being depressed. They've suppressed the pain of about to go through a divorce. They've suppressed the pain of whatever it might be, right? So we need to ask questions to put a mirror up and go, look, this is, be honest. Your life sucks right now. That's why you're here. When I used to sell personal training, Vanessa, 2 out of every 3 women that I did a free consultation with would cry. It wasn't my goal to make them cry. It's just I was very good at asking them questions, put them up the face, and then go, shit, you know what? This sucks. If I don't lose 20 kilos, I'm going to be dead before my grandkids are born, et cetera, et cetera. So don't be afraid to hurt people's feelings short term by asking questions because everybody's in denial. You're all in denial. You're all sitting here going, I'm in denial. We're all in denial about stuff. We suppress. It's not that bad. There's so much to be grateful for. Yes, be grateful. I have a roof over my head. But the truth is that if I asked you what pisses you off about your current situation, the only time you're going to make a decision to make drastic, radical changes in your life is to go, I am no longer prepared or willing to stay here in this pain anymore. And that's what we need to do. We got to pour a little salt in our wounds. Now, you don't have to be an asshole, definitely not quite. You want to be empathic and ask questions to put the mirror up so they go, okay. Well, yeah, that got me good. So there should be people crying. If you're working with people, life coaching, fitness coaching, weight loss, maybe money to a degree, relationships, there's gonna be tears. Because the truth is that people just put it off too long. Like people are like, you know, men, how often do we hear stories of men waking up having a heart attack and going, okay, I guess I should eat well. Women in toxic relationships that end up beaten in hospital and go, okay, well, I should leave this relationship. People are in denial about their financial cancer, and then next thing you know, they're bankrupt. It's human nature. We put things off. We're in denial. We avoid the debt collector that rings us, but we want to face that pain. And so don't be afraid to put a mirror up and ask them uncomfortable questions. It really is powerful and important. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the presentation now. What have we got? Halfway through to it? Yeah, 20 minutes. Okay, cool. So let's talk about the actual presentation. I'll probably spend a bit longer on that because I think it's important. So the presentation itself, we're going to talk now about the ideal length of the sales call. So I have tested 1 call, 2 calls, 3 calls, 1 hour, 45, 30. I've tested everything you can imagine online 15 years. Because for a decade, I was selling offline services. I was selling personal training, I was selling memberships, I was selling supplements, technically a product. I was selling life coaching, hypnosis packages, I was selling timeline therapy. We had a massage business, we're selling massage services. And we're always taught when you sell offline or face to face, when's the best time to sell? In the first point of contact. But then I started selling online and it wasn't the case. So we're going to talk about the ideal length of the sales call. We're going to talk about the structure of the sales call. I'm going to share with you a pitch deck and the offer and how to share your screen and close And then we're going to talk about the additional to the closed interview questions, the closing question. And then we're going to talk about the sign up. There's a huge mistake a lot of people make is they get a yes, they jump off the call and they don't get the paperwork. I will also touch a little bit on the pricing and how to present your pricing options. And then finally, I have a bonus slide, how to always get a yes. There's a way to always get a yes. Did you know that? Like every time, a yes to something. I'm going to show you how to do that. You guys ready for the presentation part? Which part so far, we talked about psychology and frames, has been the most useful for each of you? Which mistake have you been making? Which mindset focus can you implement to create more abundance? Let's talk about the presentation ideal length of time. So again, we're talking about Megan call energy. Yeah. So you start off fairly neutral and you build it up, you build it up, you build momentum. And at the end, it's the passion, intensity, and the energy. Talk a little bit faster, a little bit louder. You notice I've done a little bit here in this training. Certain times, a lot of the time when I'm talking faster, there is strategy. There's a reason why people like Tony Robbins and myself talk faster at certain times and talk slower at other times, pause at certain times. We use our tone and voice in a certain way strategically a lot of the time. Yeah. So let's talk about the ideal presentation. Now, what I'm about to share with you, recognize your thoughts and feelings about it. Do you disagree? Do you agree? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Does it not resonate with you? What I'm sharing with you is not me guessing, is not me projecting. It's based on 15 years of testing across over 2,000 businesses that works most of the time. So here's what we found to be the best length of time is 1 hour over 2 calls. 1 hour over 2 calls. So here is some interesting facts. In the beginning, when I started selling business coaching online 15 years ago, we did 1 hour sales calls, 45 minutes to an hour. We couldn't get it done in 45 minutes because some people would take 10 minutes to fill in the form and we always do it on the call. So we always allow 10 to 15 minutes to sign someone up and onboard them or to get them set up. Because some people just aren't very good with forms, right? We tested everything. I tested 1 hour, I tested 2 30 minutes, I tested everything you can imagine. Here's the one thing that held true every time though. When we sold on the second point of contact or the second call, there was an average increase in conversions of 22%. So if we get on a call and we don't pitch, then we get on another call within a couple of days and then we pitch, show our screen and sell the offer, there was an increase of 22% conversion rate. I found it really fascinating. Why is that? I think a couple of reasons. One, we get them to do a bit of an exercise to create compliance, which I'm going to talk about. But two, there's some time in between to build a bit more rapport and connect with them, and to just really get them feeling good about the whole process. This really comes down to the pre-qualifying process we use. The truth is, if we qualify our leads and appointments really well, then there's not going to be much of a need to overcome objections, which is why a lot less people do objection handling these days. They just do the basics. Now, more often than not, one-on-one sales calls are more back-end features now than front-end, meaning that I would much rather get people to an event and then get them on a call. And I encourage all of you guys to do the same. You guys in the accelerator, you're doing events this week, whether people show up or not, getting them on the call and then giving them the replay to watch before the call will drastically increase conversion rates. So there's a couple of options. If it's just you selling in your business right now, the ideal is a 30-minute discovery call and a 30-minute follow-up call where you sell. And I'm going to break those down in a moment. The labels aren't really that relevant. It's just important that the label you give it is alignment with authentic sales. So if you're going to call something a strategy call, I believe you need to give them some form of strategy. If you're not giving them any form of strategy, I wouldn't do that. I like for people just starting out, Steve and Vanessa, you have a discovery call and then you have a follow-up call. Nice and simple, very casual. Okay. I'm going to go through those now. Over time, the goal is to get so busy, you don't have time to do 2 calls with everyone. You want to do 1 call. So what we can do is introduce what's called a triage call, where someone in your team, one of our VAs can do it. We'll get on a call for 10, 15 minutes, go through the pre-qualifying form, make sure they know the price and they're fully qualified, ready for you. So that way, Vanessa, you only have to do the one call personally. Okay. If at some stage down the track you have a salesperson selling for you, that's going to be the process as well. Someone will do the triage call, someone will do the close. When you're paying team to sell, you want them only selling, if that makes sense. So there's some steps to think about in the future. But for now, my suggestion, Vanessa and Steve, two 30-minute calls. First call, 30-minute discovery call. The second is the sales close, okay, which we're going to touch on now. So let's break down the structure of the first 30-minute call. Now, this is the meat and the potatoes. Is that right? This is the hero of the dish. This here is why most of you are here. The structure of the presentation itself. It's heavily influenced by sales system, as I've learned from NLP, selling impact training, which is the sales system all the large health clubs in the world use. I've created sales scripts and systems for banks, health clubs, large corporations. I love selling stuff one-on-one, and we've tested everything you can imagine, right? Here's my suggestion for the 30-minute discovery call structure. If you're watching live, I'm going to email you my scripts so you can see the scripts. If you're watching this in YouTube or in my mastermind, there's a link to a free course, and in that course, you can access the scripts to this word for word. But for the purpose of the training and keeping it fairly short and succinct, when you get on a discovery call, I'm going to grab, in a second, I might grab Steve, maybe if I can. When I get on a 30-minute discovery call, they should have filled in a pre-qualifying form and I should have some basic information. I know Steve and Megan, you guys using GoHellevel, perfect. Set up on GoHellevel, it automatically links to your calendar, it's perfect. If you don't have GoHellevel yet, that's fine, not a problem. Create a Google form, nice and easy. Have your VA, have one of our VAs set up for you. Okay. So when we first get on the 30-minute discovery call, there's four main parts to the 30 minutes. Number one is we build rapport. We build massive rapport. And I call this FORM, FORM. And this is an acronym for friends and family, occupation, recreation, and message. So we want to spend up to 5 minutes maximum breaking down the wall. So there should have been a lot of connection already. These people should be watching your content. They should have at least registered, if not showed to an event or watched an event. There should be a connection already. There should have been a little bit of rapport building before the call, having a conversation with them. But how many times have you got on a call or a sales call with somebody and there's been a bit of resistance, almost like there's a wall there? So I think about it as I want to knock that wall down. You know, when you're talking with someone and in the beginning, after a few minutes, they open up, I'm waiting for that to move forward. You know, where in the world do they find some commonality, talk about their friends and family? Do they have kids? Are they married? What do they do for fun? All that kind of stuff, right? I shouldn't really have to teach you guys that much. You guys should be naturally pretty good at that, right? And then I get to the four W's. This here just makes life so simple and easy. And the four W's are, where are you now? Where are you now? I have 3 clients. Where do you want to be? I want to have 30 clients. Where are you now? I'm 100 kilos. Where do you want to be? I want to be 70. Where are you now? And where do you want to be? Because in order for us to be able to help them with the transformation, we need to know where they're at, where they want to be, create pain with where they're at, and pleasure with working with us to get to where they want. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? Third W is, when do you want to be there by? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? When do you want to be there by? When do you want to lose that 30 kilos? When do you want to hit that 20K? When do you want to heal that trauma? When do you want to, when? And the fourth W, the most important, is why. Why do you want to achieve it by then? Why do you want to achieve it by then? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? When do you want to be there by? Why is that so important to you? Values are everything on here. And then we dive into the format system. Has anyone heard of the format system before? So it's made popular in NLP, but it's not an NLP strategy. It's been around since the 60s. Miller. So this doctor in the 60s discovered that in the context of learning or conversation, people have 4 main questions. Why should I listen to you? Yep. What are we going to cover or talk about? How does this work? and what's going to happen moving forward if I do or don't. Cartesian logic. So the format system in a nutshell is this. So let's say, Steve, are you there, brother? Can you chat just really quickly, Steve? Yes or no? Can you unmute? I don't know. I can't see a video. Vanessa, are you there? Vanessa, can you unmute? Can you chat quickly? Yes.
Yes, yeah,
Who is
yes,
this?
I'm here.
Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa, how you doing?
Yeah,
So, Vanessa, quick question.
Abby.
This is for thank you for joining us. Vanessa is currently in our third day accelerator, doing some cool things, getting some momentum happening. So, Vanessa, just how many clients do you have at present?
Two. One's nearly finishing now, so I'll
Two.
have two.
Yep. How many can you handle?
10,
10? When do you want to have 10 clients by?
ideally in 3 weeks, or in 30 days. 30 days.
Why is it so important for you to have that in 30 days?
I've had this as a hobby for too long. I've got to. I'm now inspired to create momentum and get things happening. I want to impact people. I now know where my niche is. I've been shopping and changing for too long. I've got it now. I need to move on it.
What's the most important thing in your life? What do you value more than anything? What's the most important thing, or who's the most important thing in your life right now?
Freedom
Freedom? So
and
what would it
helping
mean for you
people.
if we can get you to 10 clients above and beyond the next 30 days?
Oh, it would set me on a different trajectory in life instead of just hustling.
Where do you want the business to be in, say, a year from now? What income would you like to be making?
Oh, a year from now, 250K.
How would you feel if in a year from now, this is the format system, guys, already? So that was the W's. Sometimes it's more than four W's. This is the format system. How would you feel if in a year you're still exactly where you are right now?
Depressed, burnt out,
Yeah.
disillusioned.
But how would you feel if you had the right support, guidance, mindset, coaching, and you did achieve it? How would you feel about that?
Um, I'd feel I'm on top of the world. I would have achieved. It would be success to me.
If you keep doing what you've been doing up until now, you think you're guaranteed to hit 250,000 in a year?
No,
So you're going to make some changes, yeah?
absolutely.
Are you prepared to make some changes?
Yes.
What are you prepared to do to make this goal a reality?
I think where I've been lacking is the implementation. I'm getting up to speed with the consistency, but it's the actual implementation.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most important, how important is it you make this goal a reality?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Well, I guess now, I mean, if you keep doing what you've been doing up until now, nothing's going to change, right? So nothing changes, nothing changes. So here's what I'd like to do, Vanessa. I'd like to jump on a call in 48 hours. And between now and then, I'm going to invite you to complete a bit of an exercise. And I just want you to watch the video I'm going to send you, complete the worksheet so I can get to know a bit more about, because the next step for you is clarity and direction. And then what I'll do is normally, guys, is I'll give instructions. And what I want to do is I want to give Vanessa an exercise to go and do because it creates compliance. So she's acting like a paying client. I'm treating her like a paying client. She's more likely to become one. Now, notice that I haven't coached her per se, but I've given her coaching. I'm creating coaching compliance by giving her an exercise to do on her own time. This also causes her to go deeper and to really think about what she wants and why it's important. That's the discovery call. Off she goes. I book her in for 48 hours. You can do 24 hours or 48 hours. Okay. Just get this stay on the line, Vanessa. 24 to 48 hours
Yeah.
later, 24 to 48 hours later, I'm going to do the second call, which is the sales call, the close. So I reform, okay, reconnect, okay. And then I isolate the priority. So I isolate the goal. Vanessa, how'd you go sitting down thinking about the goals that you want to achieve? Awesome. What I want to do today is determine what's the number one. If I help you achieve just one thing in the next year, Vanessa, what's that one thing?
To implement consistently.
You know, what's the number one outcome, the business goal you have in the next year? You've already said it.
Oh, sales, to close on sales calls.
No, outcome, goal in the next
Uh,
12 months, where you want your business to be in 12 months.
at the 250K.
250K. Now, the awesome thing is if you do this in the right way, guys, they should be telling you the goal that revolves around your program. So guess what one of our accelerators is? The 20K a month accelerator program. So I can go, based on what you're going through today, I believe you need to invest in this accelerator, right? So I isolate the priorities. So if you know, so I isolate, we're going to focus all our energy on the biggest thing, right? Now I reformat. Okay. So how would you feel if in a year from now you haven't achieved it? How would you feel if you did? And I know I asked this last time, but I'd like to ask them again because you get a bit more clarity and direction. I'll reiterate them back into her top value. So what do most people say there is a top value? It's normally their kids or their family, isn't it? So what is more important to you in their life than anything else? Find that out. If it's their daughter, what would it mean for you and your daughter if I could help you get 250,000? I'm looking for the trip to Disney. I'm looking for the thing that it means. It's never about the money or the goal or the transformation. It's what the transformation means. I want that money shot of you in Disneyland with your daughter more than I want you to get the money. So you want to establish that as well. Okay. So, and then I go into the pitch deck. So based on what we've gone through today, Vanessa, I believe you want to invest in our Surge business coaching programs designed to get you to 250,000 a year in 6 months. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Vanessa, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to do a quick role play for everyone to see. So based on what we're going through today, I believe you need to invest in our Surge business coaching program. This program has been designed and refined over 15 years to get you to 20,000 a month, 250K in 6 months. How would you like to do that by Christmas?
Absolutely love it.
So I'm very particular about who I choose to work with. So I'm going to ask you some questions in a moment to decide if I'm going to choose to work with you. But before I do, I'm just going to show you how the program can work. So in this program, we're going to have a 30-minute coaching session every week, access to the replays. And this is what I was saying before, guys. On the pitch deck, you have 8 to 12 bullet points. I went through this last week. So I'm showing my screen and I'm showing her increased perceived value. And then I create clarity by going through the outline. I went through this last week's training, the pitch deck training, but I'm showing the screen. In session one, we're going to do this. In session two, we're going to do this. Now, you'll note if you've had any sales training before, you've heard sayings like we sell benefits, not features. This has the features because the features are um, the framework. I won't say rigid. The features are the framework. But every individual I speak with on the call, I'll personalize back and feedback, verbalize personalization of the benefits that they've said. Yeah, this is her challenge. This is what she's struggling with, etc. Because we ask them those questions as well. And then I'll be like, Vanessa, how does that look to yourself?
That looks like everything I need, Jason.
What do you like most about the program?
Um, the structure and that it flows.
So if we do choose to work with you, I'm going to ask some questions in a moment. But in regards to the pricing, you have two options today. If you look at the very right-hand side, you'll see the Ultra Search. We're going to plug into the 101 program. Okay. And with this, you have two options. The first option is the advanced option, which is just one time 2,997 Aussie. If you have access to that, we can just get you started on that. Or if you don't have access to 2,997, we can get you started on a weekly payment plan of just 299 per week. Before we decide on which option is better for you, though, I have a couple of questions for you because I am very particular about who I choose to work with. Vanessa, if I choose to work with you, will you be coachable, show up to the sessions, not complain, not make excuses and blame? And I call it get shit done. Would you say you can be coachable?
Yes,
The second question is, like you, I want to work with dream clients, people that have decided to win and prepared to do whatever it takes until they succeed. If I choose to work with you, do you have the desire and the discipline to do whatever it takes to make this work?
absolutely.
And the third question is mental toughness. It's the most important. The only way you're going to fail if I choose to work with you is if you quit. So if I choose to work with you and plug into this program, do you have the mental toughness, Vanessa, to do this until you win?
I do.
One last question. If I was to give you one last chance to convince me why I should choose to work with you, what would you say to me?
I would say because I'm coachable and I won't give up. I've persevered this far and this long. I'm going to carry on until I do make it.
You know, I 100% believe in you, and I believe we can do big things together. You've even said yourself, if you keep doing what you have been doing, nothing's going to change. So I'm ready to plug you in. Did you have any more questions or you just ready to get started?
I'm ready to get started.
Awesome. Let's do it. So moving forward, which option's easier for you? Do you just want to pay it up front now and get it out of the way? Or would you rather do the weekly option? Which is easier for you?
I'd rather pay it up front. Then I know it's
Awesome.
done and my commitment's there.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to send you a link to a Stripe form. Okay. And then we send the forms through. So I just wanted to, that's our script, guys. Okay. I'm just going to go back here. Thanks for that, Vanessa. Thank you so much for that. I'm just
Pleasure.
going to go back there. How does everyone feel about what I just shared with you and the flow of that? See how I flipped the power dynamic. See how it flowed. See how she still felt like she had options. Yeah. So in regards to pricing options, here's my suggestion. So you can see if you look at this, there's a digital offer, a group offer, and a one-on-one coaching offer. We never have less than two options, and we never have more than three options. So Vanessa, I think Megan, Steve, you guys are just selling a one-on-one offer. You should have a weekly option and an upfront option. That's it. Upfront option may be on Stripe, and the weekly could be on Go
Yeah.
Cardless or a direct debit company like we use in Australia, Pay Smart. So I get the consistent income. Once you have multiple offers, some of you have multiple offers, you can use it like I am on the screen here. But I'm still prescribing. I'm still telling Vanessa she needs the one-on-one or she needs this offer or she, do you know what I mean? We're still prescribing. When we pitch, we're like a doctor. Vanessa has come with symptoms. I diagnose and then prescribe. You are a doctor at this point. You are the expert, Jeff, that tells them which option is best for them. They just get to choose how they want to pay it. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions on that process? No. What was everyone's biggest takeaway in that close? Everyone's very quiet. We're almost done, by the way. Why can't I move this thing out of the way? Vanessa, what was your biggest takeaway in that part?
Definitely the way you handle well, I mean, you're so used to it and you're so good at it, but the whole sales process, I know that I need to practice that more, definitely.
You guys should all be
But you made
practicing
it
with each
sound it was
other every.
effortless, it was simple.
It
Yeah, it
flows.
was
The
simple and
keywords always
effortless.
flow. If it
Mm,
doesn't feel like it flows to you, it definitely doesn't feel like it flows to them. And so this is why you've
yeah.
got to look at things like how do you think and feel about your own price? Because if you think and feel it's cheap, you're going to attract cheap clients. If you think and feel it's expensive, you're going to project that through your tone. And so the good thing about having the visual aid, guys, is while you're practicing and building confidence, the visual aid gives them a visual distraction away from you and they're focused on that. So if you do stumble through it a little bit or whatever, they're not aware of it. The other awesome thing is when you're on a Zoom call, guys, you can have your script open, be reading the script if you wanted to. They wouldn't even know. That's the awesome thing. You can have it on your phone or whatever. When you're selling in the real world offline, you cannot do that. It's a bit awkward to do that, right? So now the really important thing here is when you get a yes, do not get off the call until you've received the payment on Stripe or the signed paperwork. Now we haven't really spoken about this much, but there should be two lots of paperwork. There should be a terms and conditions on something like DocuSign. People need to sign something. If there's no official signature, guys, there's no contract. Now on Stripe, you can embed terms and conditions and they tick the tick box, which works similar. So on Stripe, you need to embed terms and conditions and make sure you add the tick box. But I would still have DocuSign for anything more than $1,000 for us. We have DocuSign. We use a DocuSign agreement. Terms of you can find them in all my portals as well. You definitely want to have that set up. But the amount of people that get off the call without getting the paperwork is just crazy, right? So who would like to see my full script? Now, if you're on YouTube or if you're in our mastermind, there's a link somewhere. Click on that, get the free course. It's in there. If you're on this live, I'll be emailing you guys my personal scripts for the business coaching. There's a business coaching script, life coaching, and a fitness coaching, which you can personalize. But see how I adopted and adapted the, interview, don't sell coaching. All these frames and philosophies were a part of the presentation. And so 30 minutes for the discovery call, 30 minutes for the follow-up. Practice, Steve and Vanessa and you guys in the program, practice with each other, role play, fail forward. You will suck in the beginning, but as we say, we suck your way to success, right? So just a friendly reminder on the close, we have the pitch deck, so you need that. You need the payment options, you need that. There was a double bind A or B option. We have the interview questions. We're collecting paperwork. And I would actually at some point create a welcome letter with a basic onboarding down the track, but that's not that important right now. All of our programs now have an online digital portal and a personalized AI as of next week. So I'm updating the VA portal and the VA AI this weekend. You're all getting a new VA portal next. I'm updating all the VA portal, the 3 accelerator portals, um, the sales portal. There's 5 portals, and all those AIs are being done and created and refined over the next 30 days. So if you're in any of those programs, all of them, there's some cool stuff coming, which is awesome as well. So don't worry about portals and all that for now. If you don't have it right now, you need clients, right? Just get 5, 10 clients, right? One last slide and we'll wrap it up. Who wants to know how to always get a yes? This is the icing on the cake. Here is a huge mistake that almost everybody makes, and this sets apart average and world-class closers as salespeople. And it's referrals. Everyone you speak to should turn into 2 referrals. Every time you speak to someone about an event, every time you speak to someone about an appointment, every time you do a sales call. If we look at a sales call, Vanessa just then would have done one of 3 things. She's going to say yes, she's going to say no, or she's going to want to check her budget or think about it, right? Time and money. So a fence sitter. Here's how to always get a yes. If Vanessa says she's in, I sign her up, I've got a yes. Okay. Number 3, if Vanessa gave me some sort of resistance around time and money, I'm going to book her in for a follow-up, what I call BAM fam, book a meeting from the meeting. So Vanessa says, I want to talk to, Vanessa just say, I need to talk to my partner.
Okay, that sounds great, Jason. I think I just need to chat to my partner about this.
You know what? I personally, I love that. Being in a relationship myself, when making a life-changing decision, I think it's great to make them together. And this is a life-changing decision for you. It's going to change your life, right? Quick question. When will you get a chance to show this to your partner if I send through a quick video? When will we get a chance to show your partner?
Later this evening.
Perfect. How about I book in for the same time tomorrow? We can jump on a call tomorrow and you can just tell me yes or no and we'll go from there.
Great. Sounds
By the
good.
way, what's your partner's name again?
Gary.
Perry?
Gary.
Oh, Gary. By the way, if Gary would like to jump on, invite him along. Would love to meet him. It's up to him if he wants. The offer's there. Okay. Now, I booked Vanessa in for an official call, send her an email confirmation, all that cool stuff. It's formal, right? But here's the cool part. Whether Vanessa says yes or whether Vanessa says no, she's made a decision. She's decisive. So number 1 or 2, I'm going to say, by the way, Vanessa, before you go, who do you know? Who do you know that this can help, or who do you know that this might benefit or might be interested? Now, I'm going to get a name from Vanessa, ask her to create a group chat, connect us, offer them a free call. Vanessa refers somebody, what am I going to ask again? Who else do you know? And how many times am I going to ask Vanessa, who does she know? Until she says no. If she gives me 9 people, I've got 9 people. I'm going to keep going. She goes, oh, that's all. Ray, who used to work with us, once got 9 referrals on a call. 9. That's connected on Facebook chat. So start getting in the habit of just ask. This is the question. Write it down. Who do you know? Who do you know, Jeff? Who do you know, Vanessa? Who do you know, Vanessa, that this event might benefit? Who do you know that might be interested? Who do you know that this can help? Who do you know? Who else do you know? Cool. Can you just create a quick group chat on Facebook? Okay. Is that helpful, guys? Is that useful? Everyone's still here. That's a good sign. As we wrap it up, who here would like it? Who here would like me to personally, with you, create your pitch deck, your sales script, your pre-qualifying form, put it all together? Who would like me to jump on a call with you and spend time doing it with you? Who would like that? Yeah. Vanessa says yes. What if Jeff? What if Vanessa? What if Charlotte? Who else is on here still? What if Steve? What if Hector? Hey Hector, how you doing, brother? What if Amanda? What if I said to you for $97 today, we could get the ball rolling and I can help you get it all set up? Would that be a good deal? I think you're going to say it's a good deal. So I've just refined over the last few weeks a brand new 30-day Surge Client Acquisition Accelerator. So we have an accelerator program which has phases. The first phase of our accelerator program is called the Client Acquisition Accelerator. It's a 30-day program that kicks off next week, and it's the first time we've ever done it. We only have 10 spots. We still have 8 spots, but they will sell out. I'm going to be spending tomorrow selling it out. I want to put together, because Amanda, I know we've spoken about this. Hector, I know we've spoken about this. Jess, I know we've spoken about this. A lot of you guys are looking at it already. I'll put together a special specific deal just for you guys today, which is impossible for you to say no to. If you're watching me live or replay right now, I know you want this and I know you need this because you know you need this to get more sales and to get more clients. I am and we are the best in the world at this stuff here. And when you read my scripts and you go through the process, you'll see exactly how. So the Search Accelerator kicks off next Thursday, 9:30 a.m. It's a 1 hour call the next 4 weeks with me personally, mapped out over the 4 sessions on the screen. Next week in the call, we're going to create your avatar, your niche, and your messaging in the call. They're not coaching sessions. We are partners. In the call, we put it together. Session number 2, I'm going to help you create your pitch deck, and we're going to create them together. Session 3, we're going to create your sales script and your SOPs. Session 4, we're going to put your pre-qualifying form together. Okay. If I said to you that you could spend 4 hours with me over the next 30 days getting all this ready to get more clients fast than ever, all for less than $100, would you say it's worth it? I have a ridiculous offer for you guys today. I don't know how to make it any easier for you guys because if you're here, you need this. You all need this. That's why you're here. It's not about the money for me. I'm not going to make much money from this at all. It makes no difference to me. I literally just know that this is the biggest thing that's holding you all back. It is the biggest thing that's holding you back. It's not marketing. It's not content. It's this. Because when this is in place, you're going to attract the 5 or 10 dream clients. You're just going to, right? So today you have 2 options. Okay. Once it's sold out, it's sold out. I'm going to be driving this tomorrow. I'm going to be running this promo for 24 hours. I will be doing DM drives and contacting all of you, messaging with all of you until I sell 10 by tomorrow. So it will sell out in the next 24 hours. That's my mission next 24 hours. Today we can get you started. It's just $97 today. If money's a bit tight, which it probably is because that's why you're here, for $97 Aussie today, we can get you into the program and you've got up to 2 weeks. Happy to give you 2 weeks to pay the remaining $600. Okay. That gives a couple of weeks to round that up. You can pay that in a couple of goes if you want. As long as it's paid within 14 days of today or tomorrow, I'm happy. If you have access to the 697 for the whole program, there's personalized AI. We have a mastermind. We have daily interaction. We do it all together. This, by the way, is normally $997. So I've actually made it less for you guys. Jess, you'll notice that. So 2 options today. But who's in for $97, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a link through now for you guys for the $97 offer. We can work out the remaining 600 in the next 2 weeks. We'll find out how to work, how we can do that. If you're watching live, I'm going to post the Stripe link now in Zoom for the $97. If you just click on that, the first 8 people between now and tomorrow afternoon that click the link and pay the $97, the accelerator activation fee, you just got to pay a $97 accelerator fee now in the next 24 hours. Once 10 people are paid, that's it. And then you've got a couple of weeks to find the remaining $600. Happy to be flexible and talk to you about how you want to work that out. I just know that you guys need this. I know some of you are struggling financially. For those you guys like Vanessa and Steve, you guys are doing the client accelerator. If you guys want to get all this set up properly, plug in. It's a ridiculous price. We'll go up afterwards as well. After the 4 weeks, there's options to continue. We have an accelerator to help you get 5 clients and 20K and other options, but there's no obligation there to have to do those. But at the end of the day, it makes no difference to me. Do it, don't do it. It's completely up to you guys. But click that link, pay the accelerator activation fee. And lastly, if you do have any questions or if we haven't had a call yet, as I think all of you have had calls, but if you have a couple of questions, my goal is to get all of you to 20,000 a month minimum this year. Who would like to get at least 20,000 a month minimum this year? For those that haven't had a call with me this year yet, I'd like to offer you a free 45-minute call. You can jump on a call, answer any questions you have, see how we can get you off the ground into 20,000 plus. If you're watching this on YouTube or in the mastermind and you click the link and book, there'll be a pre-qualifying form. You will need to be approved, but you can still fill it in and go from there. I'm just going to send the link. I'm just going to send you my direct Calendly link because it'll just be easy for you guys that haven't booked that yet. It's being a bit slow here. I'll just use this one here. So just click on this link to book a time. So the first Stripe link is for the $97 acceleration fee. And there's the link to the calendar. So if you're watching live, I will send through the replay tomorrow and I'll be reaching out to you guys. I do believe every one of you want to be doing that 30-day accelerator. If you're watching the replay, grab the free course, grab the scripts in the mastermind on the YouTube. And that accelerator, again, it's 4 hours. We put everything together. It's the one thing that's holding you all back. Getting clear on your audience, your message, your offer, your sales script, SOPs. We'll look at the appointment setting script and also the pre-qualifying form all together. And all you got to do is just pay the first $97 activation fee to get the ball rolling. Once you've done that, send me a message on Facebook. Jace, I paid the $97. Let's get the ball rolling. We have a welcome letter. You'll get access to the full online 20K portal. We have an AI. The value gets ridiculous. It really is. Again, for those who are in 5-client accelerator, I encourage you to join it as well because we'll go through everything a lot more in depth. We didn't do that stuff. My goal, Vanessa and Steve, is actually get people into this one and then roll you guys into the 5-client from there. Because some of you guys are still putting offers and stuff together, right? So, but I really hope that you drew value from today, guys. For those that are watching live, if you have any questions, message me. We will sell out. We will book solid with 10 people on that accelerator. So once you pay the $97, let me know. And if you have any questions, DM me. And I'll look forward to speaking to everyone very soon. But a lot more sales trainings coming. Sales Academy is coming. Lots of cool stuff coming as well as we get ready for my next book launch. So hope that adds some value. Make sure you grab the scripts, check out the scripts, start putting stuff together. And I look forward to working with 10 of you as of next Thursday in the 3rd day accelerator. It's going to be awesome.